Well, good morning. Coming in from sunny Minsley this morning, and it's part of my commitment to improve my communications to a wider and newer audience within the quality team within MYD. I'm fully aware there's quite a few new members of the team out there that have probably never seen me or really understood what my job or role is, so I'll commit to some more of these sort of videos. But if you see me about, just say hello and just tell me what you're doing and all that sort of stuff, and I'll spend some time with you then. But by way of this commitment, it's just the probably first one I've done in a while since COVID, where I used to do them relatively regularly just to keep people updated of what's going through my mind and probably what's going through the company's mind as much as I can do. So Minsley today, we've got Tesco's on site, looking at a fairly big contract with them to take on things like custard and trifles. So Tesco standard's been a bit stiffer than most of them, and so there's a big team here on sort of session 3 really, with R&D, commercial and quality involvement. So that's pretty good. So we'll update you on that in the next video. That's on the back of obviously a recall coming out of Minsley with the twin pots, which was quite arduous and continues. So yesterday Victoria, myself and Shaheen were over at Nimbus Foods just checking out one of the supply of some of our what we call inclusions, so things like flakes, crumbles, buttons and that sort of stuff, and checking their factory out. That was an interesting tour there. One or two things we uncovered, but nothing that was detrimental perhaps to the actual recall itself. So the investigation continues on that one. More involvement probably with the lab and with their own processing facility here at Minsley. Now on the back of that, obviously it's a tough and testing time. Things doing differently, processes doing differently, probably stretching our existing processes. And my thanks obviously to the teams that are involved in stretching those processes, particularly on the logistics side, which we've probably got more heavily involved in from a quality point of view, because at one point we were holding stock at Minsley but releasing it straight away on the pick face at Kalina. Clearly the market rating team have had to get heavily involved in that, and my thanks to you guys up there. So while all this is going on, we continue the route to ensure that we've got the right standards in place, and a lot of standards are being written by the business unit and the various teams across MYD in conjunction with GQM. So it's important to keep, and that's our job really, to standard, to specification. If it's not right, it's not right, and raise your hand if it's not right and escalate it. A big part of our job is escalation and making sure the right people hear the message. Otherwise we send product out that's not A, safe, and B, a good quality. So that's part of what we do. Seems a million miles away when a couple of weeks ago I was in Poland, and I'm not really spoken about Poland to anybody, where we meet the rest of the group quality heads of department, of which there's about 5 others, and in that group we determine group strategy going forward as far as quality and making sure that we've got the right standards and processes in place. But I'll probably do a special video on that when I've got a bit more time and gone through the initial pain of being on video for the first time in probably 12 months. Plans going forward, we've seen an improvement in CPMU, but mould still top of my list. If I was worried about anything across MYD, it's mould. And mould is a direct influence on environmental cleanliness, so it's keeping the place clean basically, and so there's a mould action group being formed up. That mould action group will, based on data, will determine what we need to do. It's some obvious stuff like cleaning drains and keeping doors shut, keeping open product covered and that sort of stuff. So it's the obvious stuff, but it's stuff that we have to engage with the teams with and make sure they understand that any open product or any open packaging will get infected with mould spores in the atmosphere, especially near open doors, drafts and people moving, opening and shutting machines, etc. But again, more on that as we see fit. So that's top of my list there. On top of that then, we're probably working on the back of the GQM strategy and the site OGSMs, so make sure you understand your part in those plans. And as far as the operational support group, the business unit, so people like Lindsay, myself, Wayne, Shaheen, Janet and Wendy are working on supporting all the factories with our central plan, which is an amalgam really of GQM and the OGSM site plans, and a lot of that is writing standards. Anyway, I think I'll do for today, apart from just leaving you with the BCG update, of which there isn't much of one. I hear bits, probably like you do, but I've chosen to ignore most of what I've heard because there's nothing formal come through. So I understand there's various meetings going on on the continent. I've not been involved in anything directly myself, but I do understand there's probably a lot more rumours out there that we can deal with. One of the rumours, the operator quality, the operator framework that's come out to start to harmonise, as Jan promised he would do, across the operators, across MYD, all 3 sites, has been put into the public domain, and actions have happened there. That's had a knock-on effect to obviously people in the quality teams, because it's thinking, well, what about us, and how do we fit into that? In between that plan of the operator framework and moving to the quality framework came BCG, and so understanding what BCG is trying to do and achieve is something that we'll learn about in the next few weeks, I'm sure. But it's all very positive stuff, because if I remind you of the slide on there, where the one I'm particularly looking at is the removal of silos and silo mentality. It's evident in Muller that we've got a lot of that going on, which affects where the value's added, and where the value's added is on the line. Every time we put yogurt or dessert into a pot and do it right first time, we make some money, and that's what we need to do as a company, is make some money, but make sure we do it with a safe head-on, product safety, and a good quality, so people come back and buy it again. And that's what we do with the quality team. So if we're doing our jobs, we're doing our jobs. And I thank you for that, and keep doing what we do. Now I promise you next time it won't be 6 minutes, 20 seconds, but I can talk for a lot longer than that, as long as people understand what I'm trying to do. So more next time, I'll keep them coming, and they'll eventually go on to the SharePoint site that Lindsay and I are developing for the MYD quality team. So all our data will be in one place eventually. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, and speak to you soon. Bye.